everybody, welcome to the making of Liar's Map, my submission to the 2019 Community Game Jam, with the theme, The Game is a Liar. Making a game in 7 days is a great way to live through all the major points in the process of game development. All the ups and downs, all the happiness and sadness, all the confidence and all the doubts. It's a real test of determination to achieve the big goal and hopefully succeeding in the end. Going through all those different intense experiences is why I love making games. So I thought that today I would share with you the process of creating this game, because it so nicely encapsulates the whole ride, even if just for 7 days. The game I created is called Liar's Map. Liar's Map is an RTS game where you are a medieval lord and your soldiers are lost in a randomly generated meadow. You must help them get to the nearest castle while avoiding monsters, magic, and worse. All you have at your disposal are maps left by other travelers. However, each map has one true information and 2 lies. Will you be able to traverse this dangerous world and get the troops to safety? I created this game in 7 days, and I was alone in the project, so I had to make everything myself, from the programming to the art, even the music. To add to the challenge, I programmed it in the C programming language with no engines. I will break down the progress, struggles, and successes for each day, so you can see how the game was made. So buckle up, because we are going on a game-making adventure. As soon as the theme was announced, I started thinking about game ideas. The first few ideas are probably what everyone else is thinking as well, so I just scrapped them, but they're necessary to get to the more interesting stuff. The first thing that came to mind was this thinly parable and Portal with their unreliable narrators. I first typed whatever came to mind, but then let my subconscious work on that a bit, while I programmed the game engine. I first typed the code to make a window, render rectangles, maps, and colors. And whenever I had an idea, I stopped and typed that on the file. I also worked on the audio system to allow me to play music and sounds. So at the end of the first day, I had the first version of the engine that would allow me to start working on the gameplay. I had a total of 7 game ideas, and that was one that I really liked. It started as an abstract idea of the game happening and you're not seeing it, but interfacing with it through an unreliable character. As I developed the idea more, I decided the game would be an RTS game where I would have to build the knowledge of the map with uncertain information, while making notes of the things that you found to be true. Since everybody knew that the game would lie, it was the theme after all, I thought, what if it only lies sometimes? And the true information that it gives was vital for your victory. Now that would make an interesting game. So the basic idea is, you have limited access to the game's information, the complete map, and the interface that you use to get more information is not completely reliable, the maps, but they must be used to reach the goal, the castle. And that is the end of day 1. So I started the second day by playing each following day, dividing the game into manageable parts that would be implemented while still leaving room for changes and mistakes, because plans change all the time. I quickly created a character to use and worked on the basic movement system and win condition, and then started working on the fog of war. I never created a fog of war before, but I knew that it was usually done by rendering a mask to an invisible texture and combining that with the main game view. However, that would require me to work a lot on graphics, something I'm not completely familiar with, so I decided to hack that and just draw a bunch of little squares that would be in the player's view. It worked great, but when I made the larger map, so I spent some time researching and optimizing the system. By making few calls to OpenGL, I got that running nicely, at least for this version. And then I made a system to add stickers and notes to the map, and at this point, I had a lot of ideas for the game mechanics, so I typed all that. And in the night, I implemented the magic circle and the enemies. That was all for Sunday. I knew that in the weekdays I had less time than in the other days, so I focused on building the major systems to make the game work, especially because this game would only make sense if every base piece was in place. So I worked on the random world generation, a collectible map system, and a statement system. Whenever the world generated an object, it would add a statement about the object, like, there's a castle in position B0. It would also add true statements, but in the negative, like, no castle exists in position C7. Then, the map will get one statement knowing it is true, and get another 2 statements, and reverse them, so they will be false. With that in place, I could play the game and validate some ideas. I got a lot of motivation at this point, and knew what new systems the game would require to be more interesting. I also spent some time hunting a weird crash bug. I started off the day by improving the statement system, so it would have a lot more to say on the objects, like, there's an invisible magic portal on D3. I also added some rocks on the map to make it more interesting. I never got the articulation 100% smooth though. I added a magical portal system that I believed would be the missing piece for the game, and playtested a lot. But at this point, I lost a lot of my motivation, thinking the game was too weird and abstract. So I quickly added a tutorial and a menu, and posted the build on the James community forum to get people's feedback. I decided to take a break from the game's design, and started to mindlessly work on the art. But I had a music idea, and started to chase that instead. So I spent all night creating the music, which turned out to be about 11 seconds of unique stuff, but with several layers to add variation and different emotions. And that was it for Tuesday. I started the day just adding music to the game, and making a dynamic music arrangement system. It was a great way to add something without thinking about the game's design that I wasn't very confident with at this point. The game got played on the forums and I got some nice compliments and suggestions. Along with hearing the music in the game, which I really liked, I got a motivation boost. It was very important to go through all the doubts that appear in the development, even on a small 1-week development process, because at the end of the day, the game just keeps improving, as long as you don't stop. I improved the points that people struggled with and added some sound effects and a new enemy, as was suggested in the forums. So I finished the day feeling pretty happy with this game. I knew that in the last 2 days I wouldn't have much time to work on the jam, so I focused on finishing it. I playtested it a bunch, which resulted in several improvements, also made a save system, and the day ended with the game in its final state. With the game done, I had to focus on its release, so I created a logo and took some screenshots. I also built the game's itch.io page, and when everything was set for release, I worked on its making of video. And that's it! Making game jams are really awesome because they encompass most of the emotions of the game development process. Everything I felt and lived through my 3.5-year-long game, I could have a small sample in this game jam. From the ups and downs of motivation, to the determination needed to finish the game. The thoughts that the game sucked and I should quit, and the thoughts that the game was awesome and I should spend more time on it. And that's a great reminder why I love making games. To have created from nothing an entire experience that people could interact with, share, and engage, and all the while going through a creator's rollercoaster ride of ups and downs is an amazing experience. And I'm really glad when I find the strength to go through it till the end. I really hope you enjoyed this making of video. I love sharing the passion I have for making games with you. If you liked it, please like the video and share it with your friends. You can also check out the game on itch.io and my videos on YouTube. I have a lot of game making tutorials to help you build the skills necessary to create your own games. Until next time, bye!